and blessings, beautiful souls. Sarava and I share to you. Cardslingers, how are you? Now, very recently I placed a question, or I posted, not placed, but I posted a question on the Cardslinger Facebook group asking what tarot card do you most struggle with? And many people said the court cards. And so I dropped a little tip on the day when I read all of this information, and then I decided that I was going to do a bit of a video to sort of clarify on the tips that I have said. So if you haven't seen that post, it's there, you can read it and it may help you. But I thought that I would put it into practical terms. I've got here the lovely Everyday Witch Tarot for no other reason than it was the deck that was closest to me on my altar here. So I've just pulled the top few cards, and they are the Six of Cups, they are the Five of Pentacles, they are the Ten of Wands, the Empress, and the King of Swords. So I want you to look very carefully at this. The King of Swords next to the Empress, for instance. So here we have the situation is emotional. So let's call the Empress the overarching energy of this reading, all right? The Major Arcana card tends to hold a weight over a reading naturally, so we're going to call this the overarching energy. In other terms, the Empress rules this reading, okay? Which leaves us then, so we have this emotional, fertile, nurturing, motherly type of energy, and that's the desire, that's the overarching element. Beneath that, we have the personality of the King of Swords, and I should probably say the archetypal energy of the King of Swords. So in this particular instance, we are potentially looking at a person in this reading, and the reason why I say that is because here we have the Ten of Wands, we have the Five of Pentacles, and we have the Six. Now the Six sits in the middle here. So the Six is the desire for a nurturing kind of approach, okay? For someone to approach you, to teach you, to mentor you, to hold space for you in a very gentle and nurturing way. This is very much attuned to the energy of the Empress. But the fact of the matter is there's a laborious task ahead, and the Five of Pentacles says that there is a depletion of resources, so worn out, can't give your all. So in this instance, the way that I would personally read it is that the archetype of the King of Swords occupying the space of a real person. Let me give you a personality type here. The archetype of the King of Swords is very fatherly in its way. A wiser type of individual, either man or woman. Wiser type of individual, someone who is astute, someone who is academic, who's a clear thinker, who has that perceptive kind of quality to them, very attention to detail oriented, very good at communicating, very analytical mindset. And as such, they can be in that mental processing state of mind a lot. The King of Swords is often rather articulate and can find the words really easily. However, they tend to be very controlled words, and that in itself lends that regal, thought out, balanced and respected energy. So sometimes this represents the father in a situation, sometimes it represents the professor or the boss, sometimes it represents the partner who occupies those qualities, or the person at the job interview that you may be going for. Let's say you're going for a job interview in the communication sector, for instance, just to be, or the academic sector, for instance. You know, that could be the person that you're going to meet at that job. However, you are going to find that the King of Swords is holding a rather opposing energy to you, and it's going to trigger this burden, this lack of resource. It's going to be a weight. The desire here is to have that Six of Cups experience, the gentle giving of the inheritance, so to speak, the mentorship, the gift of emotional intelligence and nurturing. And it's very, look at them, he's handing a little flower pot to the little witch there, and giving something for her to nurture. And so that's the desire. You may be coming into this equation with that being the desire. You really want this mentorship. You want that, you want that exchange to be very Six of Cups. Instead, the energy of the King of Swords is rather 10 of Wands and 5 of Pentacles. So a total bummer, and you're just not getting from it what you need. And because the Empress is the overarching energy in this particular equation, then you're feeling extraordinarily bummed out, because here you are, you're coming into this emotionally invested, okay, Empress, emotionally invested, with a desire to have this Six of Cups experience that's a reflection of that emotional investment. And instead what you get is you're met with this personality of the King of Swords, this guy, this woman, potential person of power, and it makes you feel 10 of Wands and 5 of Cups. So you really have to work for it, and it feels really laborious, and it's not as easy as you would want it to be. It's even too hard than it should be, and you're given absolutely nothing. So in some instances, it can actually be that your supervisor is asking the world from you, but rather than mentoring you, is throwing you all the shit jobs and really giving you absolutely no mentorship, no resources, nothing to help you do the job, which is, you know, leaving that feeling of burden, that overtly burdened and encumbered type of energy. And because the Empress is ruling, your reaction to this is emotional, and you keep thinking, if only he was Six of Cups, if only he would approach it like the Six of Cups in a nurturing mentorship sort of a way. So this could be a really shit boss. It could be a really shit type of teacher. Sorry to use bad words here. It can be just a really terrible, terrible person in the sense that they're not doing their job properly. They're not articulating to you exactly what you need. It's not that they're not being genuine to themselves. They're just not giving you what you need. And in this instance, it's an opposition energy. So you can look at it in that way. So the presence of a major arcana card next to a court card oftentimes indicates the presence of a person, a physical person that the querent, the sitter, the client will be, or yourself, will be interacting with. Because as far as the court go, they can also be overarching energies, but when there is a major arcana card there, that is the primary overarching energy, in which case it only leaves you with a few options to look at your court card. And one of those is the personality that you need to adopt, the qualities that you need to adopt in order to get a job done or to get yourself through a situation, and or the type of individual that you will meet. Is a major arcana card and there is a court card, you are most likely going to be looking at a person in the reading. So the meeting of a person or the influence of a person in a reading. And that person could either be the sitter, the querent, the client. It could be yourself, or it could be that the sitter, the querent, the client, yourself is going to meet with that person. So there you have it, beautiful card slingers. I hope that you have found this moderately educational. I'm sure that I could have articulated myself better, but I'm coming down with this dreaded, stupid cough and cold that has gone through my entire family. I'm genuinely sick of being sick. I'm green smoothieing the crap out of life right now, and exercising, and just, you know, really self-nurturing at the moment. So I'm hoping that fends off the germies, but we will soon see. So there we have it, beautiful souls. I hope you've loved it, liked it, or if you've got questions, drop them in the comments section below. Much love and many blessings. Mwah! Bye.